Hi, I'm Martin from inkjet, and the purpose of this video today is just to talk about transport clips, or the storage clips that you get on your Canon inkjet cartridges, what they're for, and the different ways to use them. You might be watching this video because you like to do some refilling or just store your cartridges for use later. This video will cover everything you need to know from the oldest cartridges that we know about through to the current batch in 2019. Okay? First of all, let's just deal with one particular area that often causes confusion, and that is the zoning protocols that Canon use for their cartridges. For example, here in the UK and Europe, a PGI 525 means that this is designed for the European Union. So anything with a prefix of 5, for anything from the 520 up to the 580, 581, means that it's intended for this particular sales zone based here in Europe. You will come across others as well. There's a zone 4, a zone 6, a zone 3. I can't remember which ones they all are. But the key thing here is if you have a PGI 220, it is physically identical to a Canon PGI 520. So any clip that fits this as a European 520 will fit a US or North American 220. So think about the last 2 digits more than you think about that first bit, and you'll be fine. It gets more confusing in a minute, but bear with me. There will be a table at the end, or certainly a link to a table, that will explain which ones work with which and which ones are identical. Now, one key point to make, the difference is here. The chips tell the printer that they are a 220 or a zone 2 versus a zone 5. So you can't use a 220 in a card or a printer that's expecting a 520. Right. There are a lot of different cartridges, and some of these designs have been reused over the years. For example, a BCI 6 cartridge design has been adjusted ever so slightly and reused in a CLI 8 design. For the purposes of a transport clip, these are basically identical. And interestingly enough, Canon then reused the design of a CLI 8 in a CLI 42, which is being used in a Pro 100, Pro 100S. So again, clips and designs and molds that were basically redundant have now come back in. So what about clips? Right, well, the first one is the original clip that your cartridge comes with. These are lousy for refilling, I'll just say it out loud. They were designed to be effectively welded onto the cartridge, and then when you removed them by twisting them off, that's it, you break the little pins. You can't get them to stay on. They will just fall off like that. If you are absolutely desperate and this is all you have, then you can always tape or rubber band them on so that they will stay on. So they're better than nothing, but only just. The other thing is that if you actually try and stand these things up, they won't, because of that that moulding on the handle. It's just not great. So that's the original orange clip. Next up, fairly common one. This is just a cover, for want of a better word. It's just a dust cover. It goes on like that. You can press it on and it will not really seal anything because there's no silicone rubber at the bottom to keep the air or the ink, the air out, the ink in. It'll keep dust out. It's better than nothing, but again, still not the best option if you can get hold of something else. This is one that we've at inkjet had more than most others, is something along the lines of this here. Now this is confusing. Most people, when they first try to use it, try to stick the cartridge in like that. It's not designed that way. What you need to do is back the retaining clip, this bit here, in through the gap. So you back your little retaining clip in through that little gate there, and then you press down like so. and that then holds it. It's a good solid clip design. It holds the rubber against the outlet, gives it a good seal, and no amount of shaking it and all the rest of it will remove it. So that's another one there. And then finally we have what we call a boat clip. These come on G&G 9-star cartridges usually, and they are just a dream, frankly. What you do is you put your lug on the cartridge in through that, and then you just push down like so, and it holds it in place. Releasing it, you just pull a little retaining clip and pull the whole thing up. Goes in fine, releases out easy. Okay. One thing to note, all of these, with the exception of this, will have a little silicone rubber disc in the bottom. If the silicone rubber disc isn't there, it won't seal. So if you have a clip without a seal, you need to find one that does. You just end up with ink everywhere. Not good. Okay. Now, like I said before, all of these clips or covers are interchangeable with all 3 of those cartridge designs. Very few of you are using these anymore because the print heads for the appropriate printers aren't really available, but I thought I'd just cover it quickly. We don't have one of the clips that would work. Looks very similar to this. It's a backup design or back-in design. It would fit through there and then you push it in. This is the wrong one. It's for the next generation on, so I'm just letting you know that that's out there. Okay. What we do have is one of the G&G or boat style clips there. Again, just pop it in, push down, and it clips in, and again, release. So we just thought we'd cover that one, just to be on the safe side. The next generation of cartridges that followed on from the PGI 5s and CI8s were the 520s and the 521s, or 220, 221s, 320, 321, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're just going to show you the 520s, 521s on this, but yeah, that you just need to keep that in mind. Okay, so a 520, we have one option really. It's the backup clip for this. There will be others out there probably, but we haven't actually found any of them. So backup clip, again, you are putting the tail or the retaining clip in through there, and then you are pressing down like so. When it comes to releasing, what you're doing is just pull off there and off it comes. Okay, so that's the 520, 521, and just to prove that a 220, 221 is no different, this is one we have here, and exactly the same clip, back it in, and push it down. Job's good. The clip that fits on a 220 or a 520 will fit equally well on a 525 or a 225. Okay? There you go. That's all of those. Very badly placed. And they're all fit the same ones. You have the 521s, the 526s, the 221s, the 226s, blah blah blah. Okay? So again, you have back-in clips. So you have the arm across here, just there, and then you just put that in and push down. Okay, that's it. Release again, pull up front like that, and it comes out. Again, disc is needed. In case you were wondering, or you spotted this earlier, the difference between a CLI 8 clip and a 521, 526 clip is only noticeable if you look very carefully at this bit here. This will fit the longer 42, 8 or 6 cartridge, whereas this will fit the shorter 521, 526, 221, etc. Now we move on to some of our more current printer models. As with the 520s and the 525s, the clip design and compatibility hasn't changed a great deal. The clip that will fit one of these, a 550, will fit a 580. Now, key point, doesn't matter if it's an XL, doesn't matter if it's a setup cartridge, design on the cartridges on the outside in terms of clip compatibility won't change. Refilling's a different story, but that's another topic. Okay, so this is a quick rundown on all the different clips available for a 550 through to a 580, 250 through to a 280. First of all, the original clip. What it is, it relies on two little retaining pins on arms and two little retaining anchor points on the actual cartridges. These are the same on all of these. Okay, so what you do is basically press the clip. As you can see, immediately jumped into that position and then clip on that end, and it's reasonably robust. Next up, we have this particular design. Now, it's based on the original one, but it's a bit more aggressive in that it will hold on much more readily than the original. What you do with this one is, again, place the anchor points and the retaining pins in place there, and then pull it up. Getting them off is a bit harder, so you pull that bit off there, and then you have to release the lug on here. This design is basically a backing design. So what you're doing here is you're getting your top rear near the retaining clip into that angle there, and then you hold and push down into the clip. But again, releasing just there, it's a lot easier to release. So just do that one more time, pop it in there, hold, and then clip in. Okay? And then the last one, I'm just going to use one of the cartridges just to prove it's possible, is what we call, again, the boat clip. And all you're doing with this one is stick the retaining clip pins in at that end, different from the others, and then push down at the back so that it clips. Again, releasing, completely different, just pull the retaining thing there on the cartridge and up you come. So that will go in like that. Exact same thing for the 570, the 580, the 550, or the 250, 280, etc. Okay, so they are all interchangeable. They all work just as well. Okay. Next up, we look at the 551 through to the 581, 250, 281, blah blah blah. Okay, same thing again. XL cartridges, no difference versus setups. Again, original clip like this will just go on as normal. They're slightly better than the ones on the larger pigment cartridges. They will still pull off, but they're a bit more, just hold on slightly better. Removal, flip there and pull off. They will come off really, really easily. And again, similar design based on the same idea. The material on these ones is quite brittle, so they're not actually brilliant. I'm not a massive fan of these particular ones, but they do work. Okay, so again, what you're doing is clip them on at either end and getting them off. So it's all based around these retaining lugs and the clip at the end here. So once more, just on like that. Okay. Then we have a back-in design. So you're backing in the cartridge into the clip like so. Now these particular cartridges have a bit of a sting in the tail that can catch you out if you're not paying attention. They have these little pins, plastic sort of lugs that stick out at the back here just above the chip. What you're doing is you are gently pushing those pins past the plastic and getting that past there, and then again you put pressure on to clip it in place. Good solid fix, again, isn't just going to come flying off. It's just those little pins at the back, and those pins exist regardless if it's a 581 XL or a 551 setup. They're all there. Okay, they all have them. So that's that one. I'll just show you one more time quickly. It can be done. Okay, so that's that one. Yeah, job done. And of course the last one is again our boat clip design, where we put the lug in there, push down, and it's done. Couple of honourable mentions. PGI-9, PGI-72s. They both take exactly the same clip. Original cartridges are really easy, by the way, if you don't already know this. But they both take exactly the same clip, OEM. They are not compatible with any of the compatible cartridges, things that claim to be compatible cartridges. Yeah, there's a rant. Anyway, PGI9, PGI72, these ones, all you're doing with these is using the original clip, which is around about like this, has Canon written on them, and all you do to get those on and off is hook them at that end, like that. So I'll show you again. Hook them at that end, and then press down to get the clip in place. To remove, lever, and that's it. Right, so PGI72, PGI9, exactly the same process. Last one is an HP, actually, rather than Canon. We have a couple of cartridges here, 364 pigment black and a 364 dye ink cartridge. So these ones fit actually the same compatible clip. Again, they are back-ins, so you back them in like so to there, and then clip like so. Same clip, ironically enough, even though the size, you wouldn't think it would fit, but it does. You back in to the back on this one, and then you kind of center it a bit and clip, okay, and it will go. It's a bit looser, but it does work. And also with these thin ones, you can get the little boat clips again. So you get your retaining lug, which look, it's an upside down T, into there, and then you push down so that the clip, retaining clip on the cartridge, holds it in. To release, do that, and up it comes. Okay? And that's it. I'm willing to bet none of you thought that it was possible to talk about orange transport clips for this long. So, to be brutally honest, if you like this kind of video, I have to question your sanity. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope this has been useful. If you have any questions or comments, or you found other clips, please let us know. We'd love to know. We're just geeking out here. So yeah, thanks very much. Remember, there are other videos on the channel about refilling, about reconditioning, and just general troubleshooting for your Canon and other printer models. So I hope it's been useful. Give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Be abandoned by all of them. Thanks a lot. Take care.